What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Empress 555, coming at you today with another message, okay? Make sure you like this video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell below the video. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, we're going to take a look into independent women, okay? This goes out to my independent Pisces women or independent women of any other sign, okay? Let's just go ahead and just talk about that. I know that there is a craze right now about women being too independent for men, and men feeling like women are just taking their roles and they don't know where they fit in the woman's life. Let me just address that. I'm going to speak on the behalf of the independent women and also on behalf of the men that are encountering or experiencing these type of women, and just see where we can go. We're also going to do a part 2 to this to come with the guys that want to love independent women and how they can go about that, and also the steps that women need to take in order to be a little softer. Okay, so first and foremost, times have really changed. There has come a point where women now are more of the providers in their household. They've had to be. That's not speaking ill on men by no means, but a lot of times, the women of today have been raised in single parent households, whether that's by their mom or by their dad. So they took on the role of that parent that raised them, or parents. So, as a woman, when you are faced with something like that, when you're told by your mom, you want to be self sufficient, self sustaining, because let's just be honest, most people in the world, I'd say all people in the world, need to be self sufficient and self sustaining. But I think the drawback is that sometimes women can come off a bit masculine when it comes to where they are with providing for themselves, their children, their families, and all of that. And I agree that sometimes we may come off too masculine and we're not realize it. So we have to find a way to check that part of us. But who wouldn't want an independent woman? Independent doesn't mean I don't need a man. It does not mean that. It means that I can take care of myself. I can take care of those around me and my family, friends. And when I have a partner, we can take care of each other, because guess what? I can take care of me already and he can take care of himself already. So when we get together, we're capitalizing on that. I can't speak on the behalf of people that say comments like I'm an independent woman. I don't say those things. I am independent. I do have a couple of jobs and businesses, but I'm not, broadcasting that as just like a slogan for myself. I look at it as I'm building on my empire and doing what I got to do as a queen, being in my femininity, really just loving where I am right now, living life. And one day will, meet my king and we both can have this empire together, adding on to what he is working on at this very moment. And I feel like that's where a lot of us want to be. We just have an issue trying to get there. So I just wanted to say that, because a lot of times, especially women that are truly not trying to be overly masculine with the whole independence thing, I think we get a bad rap for that sometimes. I can't speak for all women, but I do know like the majority of women do want a very masculine man in their life who's going to be provide and protect and all that. Sometimes, some men, not all, may want a woman that I've even read in the comments. I want somebody that's submissive. I want somebody that will cooperate. Like, what are you? That is a robot, Like, no, 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 no. You should want someone, okay, submitting to leadership, effective, meaningful, fruitful, positive leadership, not toxic masculinity. I just think that we really have to work on ourselves as men, as women, and look at how we're presenting ourselves and what our dreams and goals and morals and values are, because it's just in today's society, it's so mixed up to the point where everybody seems like they want control of a person, and it's like, okay, I want to control the situation so it'll work for me. And it makes everybody think I gotta have somebody that's gonna act like this. I gotta have somebody that makes this amount of money. I gotta have somebody that wears this kind of clothes. I gotta have somebody with this body shape. Everybody wants to have control because they feel like that's going to safeguard them from settling, that's going to safeguard them from getting hurt, and it will not. You are more apt to have a healthier relationship when you allow a person to truly be who they are. Okay? And in order for us to do that, we must first become who we are. We got to figure out who we are first. Once we know who we are, then we know the kind of personality that goes with ours. We know the kind of person that fits with us. So I think a lot of people are skipping the self-work, the self-care, and they're going right into, I want to find my ideal partner. And then we're running right into these independent women and independent men, and they have their way because they're guarded. They've worked really hard in their careers. They've done all that they need to do to be set. But they too have forgotten to do the shadow work, and so that they can have an equal balance in the femininity and masculinity. And I'm telling you, fellas, most of the time, I can't speak for every single woman on the earth, but I can tell you, most of the time, if a woman feels safe with you, if she feels like you got her back, if she feels like she can depend on your leadership, if she feels like she can trust you with her mind, body, and soul, that woman will submit to that. All we're looking for, and I can speak for women because I'm a woman, all that we look for is to feel safe, to feel wanted, to feel like what we have is enough. Physically, mentally, emotionally. I say physically first because men are visual creatures. And so we want to feel like we look good to our man. We want to feel like he loves us. He loves being around us. He's good with providing, and he's okay with me being able to provide for myself. I look at it like, if I can provide for myself, then guess what? If either one of us are out of work, we shouldn't miss anything. You know what I'm saying? So for the right person, a woman will submit. I mean, within reason, okay? There's a difference between submitting to your leadership versus control, okay? I don't think it's healthy to want to control a person. And make sure, we have to make sure that whomever you're submitting to they're a leader, that they have to have proof that they're leading. Because how can we follow if we don't know where we're going? Like, you know what I mean? And that's not speaking ill on the fellas. It's not speaking ill on the women. But it's like, how can we, if we don't know how to follow, how can we be effective leaders? If we don't know how to lead, how do we know who to follow? You feel what I'm saying? So it works on both sides. We have to do the work on ourselves. You know what I mean? We have to really get into where we are as people. Make sure that we're not ego driven. Make sure we're not power driven. A lot of times, the more success people obtain, the more in control they want to be. They figured out a way to become successful in life in whatever way that works for them. So now they're like, okay, I got this going. Now I want this type of person. I want them to make this amount of money, and there's nothing wrong with wanting somebody to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining, and have goals for themselves. But we also have to appreciate the differences. It's a lot that comes with relationships, but I believe it's truly important for each person to be able to be themselves. But I just want to put that out there for the right man. An independent, a healthy independent woman will submit to that man. She will tap into her femininity like nobody's business. She might be kind of hardcore and tough because she's had to be strong. She probably was raised in a house without the dad being present, or if she was raised by her dad, she may have taken on his traits. See, it's not always the woman being raised by her mom and she takes on that independent, strong woman. Nah, sometimes the dads are raising their daughters to be strong so they don't have to depend on a man. Not that they don't need a man, but it's just so they don't have to totally depend on that man. Because you got to think about it. What if your spouse passes away? You wouldn't want someone, God forbid that, but you wouldn't want someone so totally dependent on you that if something happens to you, they can't go on. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're like, oh my gosh, I've been living under this man's leadership for however many years, and I never did anything for myself, and vice versa. So it's so important for each person to become their own individual in a healthy way and really become in tune with what your energy needs, because everybody is so different and we have to allow those differences. But we also have to be respectful of people's achievements, because if you meet a man or a woman that takes care of themselves, they got all this stuff going, do you think it's really fair for that person to lower where they've come from or lower their expectations and all their hard work to make that person feel superior? No. Sometimes the person that feels that way may have to either step their game up, or maybe they just have to kind of, allow that person to be who they are. But I just want to say that 9 times out of 10, and women get a bad rap sometimes for being too independent. But I can tell you, no woman wants to be masculinely independent all the time. If we can have a man in our life that we feel safe with, we feel loved, we feel cared for, it feels like he's attracted to us and only us. He loves us. He's there. He helps with the kids if we have kids, or we build our family, build our empire. That woman will submit. It's a given. It's by nature. She can't help it. And she's attracted to what he's given. Oh my goodness. That's all we want. But we have to have a safe space in order to love. We have to have a safe space in order to feel like it's okay for us to be independent and also feminine at the same time, because we're living in a different world. This is a different time. Women are running businesses. Women are running their homes. A lot of women are the sole providers for whatever the reason. So I think we are so focused on the achievements of, what people have obtained in achievements, that we're not looking at the human aspect. We're not looking at everybody wants love, everybody wants attention. If we're going to teach our sons and daughters to go to college, we're going to teach our sons and daughters to have their own money and businesses. Quite naturally, you're going to have some very independent individuals. And that's how a lot of us have turned out, right? And we have to be willing to be able to let somebody in to share that with. But it is hard. When you have worked very hard in your life, you don't want somebody coming in and trying to dictate how you live and how you do. And you can't shine but so bright. You don't want that. You want a healthy partner that shines in their own right, and you two can shine together. Okay? Nobody is outshining the other. Whatever you have and I have, we can put it together and we can have more. Okay. I just wanted to shed some light. I hope this message was helpful. Make sure you let me know in the comment section. Thank you, y'all, for all your love and support. This is your girl, Empress 555. I hope you have a terrific day. Stay safe and blessed. Remember, you're worth it always. Take care. Bye, y'all.